Hey guys, it's April. I am making the ornaments. Some of you guys have seen these where I have put them online showing the photos, and then I showed photos after I put the bows on there. Last year I made a lot of ornaments, and I couldn't find a box for these flat disc ornaments. They're a couple inches thick. So I created, using shapes in Design Space, a box that could be shared. And I have it that where it has a window in it and one where it does not have a window in it, so that you can use it if you want your gift to be for sale, or something like this where a kid can see it when they get it from Santa, or if you want to cover it up for it to be a total surprise when they bring it out. I've also been asked what ornaments I get and where I get them, and these are the 4-inch disc ornaments from Hobby Lobby. They're in their Christmas section. The only time you can get them is at Christmas that I have found from Hobby Lobby. You might be able to get them other places, but they're really expensive. These are $7.99. They put them on sale for 40%, then they'll do a 50% sale, and then of course you can always use a 40% coupon to get a box of those. So it makes them about right about $1 a piece. So they're not very expensive. A lot of people think that the vinyl is on the glass. It is not on the glass. It is inside the ornament, so it less chance for people handling it for it to peel. And I use these. I got these on eBay or Amazon. I got them for like 11 bucks. They're 100 8.5 by 11 sheets. I used this all last year and this year, and I mean, I still almost have 3/4 of a box left. And I use it for more than just Christmas. I've used it year round. I cut the transparencies for the window part of my envelope, but of course you can always use the transparency that comes out of your box here. You're not going to use this box if you're making these boxes, so you can take this out totally, just position it over to where it'll cut where the glue and the cardboard are stuck to it. I took a piece out yesterday and nothing stuck to it, so I saved it because I will use that later on for a project instead of using one of my transparencies. But for this I did use clean transparency for these windows. The boxes just open up by pressing on it. These boxes do have an insert, one for the top, and then there's one down in the bottom of the box. You don't have to glue it. It's pretty snug and it will stay. And I just push mine down far enough that it doesn't show through the window here, but holds the ornament stable. I will also include a box that's very similar to this. It's a box that's in Design Space. And all of a sudden I'm going to have a little trouble. There we go. It's a box that's in Design Space. It's a gable box. I believe in Bags, Tags, Boxes, and More. The 4-inch ornament one is. And it has no window in it, but all you have to do is cut. I put a heart on each one of my boxes so that you can tie a tag to it without damaging the box. So on the heart side of it, you'll want to cut your hole. And I would suggest maybe 2.5 inch. I wouldn't go much bigger than that if you're going to cut a hole in your box for a window. And also, when you do these, I am going to have to trim these because I didn't do it before I cut mine. I forgot about it, but I have fixed the file for you guys, so it's already taken care of. On your gable box, if you cut a window, make sure that you trim the one that does not have the window in it or the heart, and that you trim maybe 0.25 inch, 1/4 inch off this edge so that it doesn't show through your window. And let me do that real quick on my, I'm just going to use scissors. I'm just going to trim to show you, because if I don't do this, then I'm going to have, I would usually use my Cutter Pro to do that with. I didn't have anything handy, but when you put this box together, that edge will show right here. Not much, but it will show a little, and if you don't push it all the way in, then your box won't be square. So let me go ahead and get started and show you guys how I put my box together here. I've got little decals that I print and cut, and then I colored the edges so that it wouldn't be white. And I'm using art glitter glue. I'll leave you a link for that too. I sell that in my Etsy shop. But I am putting that in the center of my box just for a little decor on the box. So that'll be right there in the center when we fold it up. There's the bottom. Next, what I do is put on the decorative piece, and I'm doing the Batman one here for the tutorial. And the way I do it is I flip this over. You don't have to line it up, and I am just going around, it's no perfect, round the circle there, just to give it some stability so that your transparency doesn't wobble, and then along the sides and the corners. And the transparency is not going to touch all that glue, and we don't want it to. And then just drop your transparency into place. Try not to wiggle it because you don't want glue on the front. Then just flip it over, and then you're going to line it up on the box. And I do mine by making sure that it's straight on this edge, and then I make sure that it's giving me a good circle there. I need to scoot it just a tiny bit. There we go. And then you have a transparency window in the box here that will keep anybody from pushing through. I don't like it on the inside of the box. That's why I sandwiched it between the decorative panel and the box itself. That way it's not stuck to the inside of the box. It gives it a cleaner finished look. And if your panel lifts up a little bit, you can just wait until after you fold it and then stick a little bit of glue down in there. Next, I'll hang her on there. What I do next is you can see the score lines on this pretty good. I did make this on the maker, so if you can't see your score lines, you may want to darken them or whatever. I put a little bit of art glitter glue, and I do get all the way up to the edge of that score line because I don't want my box to separate on the edge. I want it to stay nice and tight and glued. Then I take the back panel. I haven't folded anything yet, and I just line that up. Hope you guys can see this on camera. And make sure that it's square at the top and the bottom. You want this edge to be butted right up against that score line because that's where you're going to fold it. And press it down really good, and then I flip it over and press it from that side too. And then I'm going to sit that and let it dry while I make these pieces so that I'm not putting stress on that when I fold the box. For the inserts, this is the top insert, the one with the round hole. Fold over the tabs on the corners and then the tab in the center. You're just folding away from you on all these folds. And then you want to open that back up and then fold the side ones. And I like to flip mine over just so it's on the table to get my folds started. It's just easier for me that way. And then I fold these two pieces up, fold those back in. And now I'm going to put glue on these tabs here. And then I'm going to fold this piece over. And I'm going to hold it, and I hold mine flat on the table. You want to make sure that it's square. See how that's, I don't know if you can see it sticking out there. You don't want that. You want it to fit in the box snugly, but not too snug because you want them to be able to get it in and out without tearing up their box. So just make sure you keep everything square. And then the same on the other. Getting glue on my fingers. I always use too much glue, but I had a project pop apart on me one time with glue, and it wasn't with art glitter glue, and that's why I like it. I've never had anything come apart using it, but I can't get out of the habit of using extra glue since I had that happen. And then I'm going to set that to the side to dry so that we're not putting extra stress on it. And you may have, on that file, there's one of the cut lines that doesn't go quite to the end. I mean, it's just like a little tick. But you can adjust that in the file. It doesn't bother me. I haven't adjusted it yet. I just decided to clip it with my scissors. And you're doing the top just like you did the bottom. I'm sorry, this is the bottom. You're doing it just like you did the top. The one with the oval hole is the bottom. That's where that's going to be the stabilizer for the ornament to keep it from shifting in the box. And then you're putting that together in the same manner as you did the other piece. Make sure it's square. You don't want to push it in too far, and you don't want it hanging out past that little piece. I didn't get a clean cut there. That's where I changed my blade, I'm pretty sure. There we go. And then I'm going to fold that up. Alright. And that's all there is to making the inserts. We're just going to, I love that art glitter glue. It's already grabbed. I could probably pull it apart and re-stick it, but I don't need to. I'm going to let that sit, and then we're going to go back to the box. And now what you're going to do is there's a score line at the handle. You're going to fold that towards you on both handles. This is going to help create the gable. And then you can just push those back. These tabs with the slots in them, you're going to fold to the back, and then you can just bring it back up. I'm going to do that to both of those. And then bring it back up. You're also going to do that on the box top, right at the same place where you folded the others. I mean, if you want to fold them all under, if that makes it easier for you, if you guys can see that. And then you can just fold them back up. So we've got everything across the top folded to the back, and then we have brought the handle pieces back towards us. On the bottom, everything goes to the back of the box, or away from you, folded away from you. Just 4 tabs. So it's going to end up being flat across the bottom. So then that should be like that. Then you can just fold them back out. You're going to need it to be somewhat flat for the next steps. You just want to get that crease in there. Then right here at your panel, you're going to fold that to create the front of the box. And then the next score line also. That is where you glued it. So now it's folded basically in half so that it folds this way. And then you're going to do the next score line here. That is, and be careful, sometimes this will hang, while you're folding, will hang up on here. Just loosen it up because you don't want to damage your closing tabs. And then you've got the next tab where you're going to be gluing. That's the tab that I trimmed off at the beginning. Yours is already done in the file, so it should be fine, but double check just to make sure that when you glue it, that tab isn't showing through the window here. And mine is good. So now I'm going to flatten everything back out, and I'm going to glue or put glue on this tab, making sure I get the edges really good. Then I myself fold that tab in, and then I bring my box over to it, making sure I keep it square and get it flush up to that line. Had a little bit of glue leak out, that's okay. Just wipe it off. And then after that's stuck, then I do my box this way, and you can see that the stress will sometimes pull it apart. That's okay, that's why we're folding it both ways. We want it to stick, we want it to be square. What I mean by square is your score lines up at the top and the bottom should be matching up. And just keep pressing it flat until it takes hold. Mine's already done. And you can also run your hand on the inside and lay it flat and push that tab down really good. Okay, and that makes the box. Now for the bottom. Now you can do this two ways. I did these two ways to show you. This is what the bottom of the box looks like this way, where you have these creases here and then here. Or you can fold it this way where you only have the two. Myself, I prefer this one because this looks to me kind of like the opening of the box, and you don't want them opening it from the bottom. So I like this fold better, but either way that you like it. To get the one that I like, you're going to fold the big tab in first, the one with the square hole in the middle. Then you're going to fold the small tabs over like so. And I like to put a little bit of glue there so they cannot open it from the bottom. You don't need much, just put a little glue in there and then push these tabs down. You don't have to put any pressure on them, and I'm going to show you why. With the box down like this, just put a little bit on that tail. You don't want to go too deep. And then you're going to tuck that to the inside. I flip my box over and I press it with my hand from the inside, just to give it a good press. That way the box is sitting flat. You may have to fold your tabs back to get in there. Won't hurt anything, you can do that. It helps relax the box as well. And just push your tabs down. If you can't get your hand in there, you can use your scoring tool or whatever. You use the back side of it and just push down on the tabs inside to get the glue to stick. Then, no glue needed. Make sure you have the oval one and just put it inside the box and push it all the way down. And there you have it. Next, put in your ornament. And I don't want my ribbon to really show through the window on the box, so I'm going to use my insert to help me with that, just by tucking it. And then I'm going to put it into the box. Like so. And then I'm going to pull up so that this insert isn't showing through the window. You don't want to push it all the way down on the ornament. Well, I've got a little bit of my thread there. That's okay. There. And then close the box up. You just bring the two tabs up and hook these on the side. If you're having a problem hooking these, you can trim just a teeny tiny bit off of this tab right here. I like mine to stay secure, so I don't do that. But there you have it. And that box is complete. They go together pretty quick, easy. Nothing really complicated about doing them. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure that you go over to the Facebook group, sign up and join over there. I'm going to finish making some of these boxes, and once I get the whole set of 8 finished, I will post a finished picture with them all in the boxes for you guys. Y'all have a wonderful crafting day. Make something beautiful.